Well, hello. It's Marla Diann of Marla Diann Mentoring International and host of Follow Your Joy podcast. I am an intuitive business strategist and life designer and speaker for 16 years. Instead of producing a usual coaching video that it's predictable where the coach first, teaches something of value, right, pertaining to a program offer, right, after the teaching and explains how you can achieve that, what she just taught or he taught by enrolling in the program. I want to try something a little different, right? I'm going to reverse engineer that. So I want to deliver to you what I would want, right, which is a straightforward intention and of course teaching something of value. All right, so yes, I am an intuitive business strategist, life designer, and speaker of 16 years who guides and mentors high achieving and spiritually mature creative women entrepreneurs how to take their business and their life and their ability to increase revenues to a new level and evolve their consciousness, their visibility, and attract more of their right clients without all the distractions of overwhelm. Yes, I help my clients transform their relationship with money as they collapse the time frame of achieving their one-year goals in 90 days. Yes, I have several proven success platforms that can change your business and life. And yes, I love teaching and changing lives through education and application. All right, so I prefer with starting with all that, right, and placing it on the table from the beginning. So now that that's out there, let's first get to know each other, right? And then I'll begin moving into teaching you some very valuable information that you can immediately begin using in your business and in your life from the modules, right, that are included in my beautifully and mindfully designed signature create cohort. It begins in January. So just like college, right, where you enroll for the next semester, a few months prior in order to prepare your calendar and your mindset and have something to look forward to that will, in this case, change your life right at the start of the year. I am too opening up enrollment now, right, for you to take advantage, right, of early rates and plan ahead. All right. But to your credit, let's see how this lands, right, with you. And if it feels like the next phase of your personal and your business growth. Right. Because who knows? I mean, what I'm teaching you today and what you're going to hear as far as my story and what happened, it may spark something that's been laying dormant in you. So let's see, right? Something that I hope, that's for sure. Okay, so first, I'd love for you to post your name, right, and where you're from in the comments below, and include your top desire. Call it a dream, I call it a desire, that you want to achieve in 2025, right? Can be business or personal. And here's some context, right, to help you choose that top desire. You may intuitively already know it. Great, post it, because I'm going to be reading these. I'm going to keep coming back to this recording, right, to this video, and I'm going to be reading, right, what you put, which I would be delighted to do that, right, and respond to you. But here's what a top desire comes from the heart. And it's usually something that you've aspired to achieve over a few years, maybe even up to 10 years or more, but you've allowed yourself to leave it near the bottom of your priority list because of various limiting beliefs. Right? Usually your intuition, right, has nudged you for quite a while by saying softly, it's time to do that thing, whatever that thing is, and no longer delay it. See, what happens in this scenario is that your heart feels a longing and it's palpable, but you've chosen not to pay attention to that because your logical mind, right, is telling you not now for various reasons. So you leave it on your dream list another month, another year. You choose practicality, logic, and reason instead of heart, possibility, and transformation. I know you have a desire that fits that. I did, and I'm going to share with you what happened. So just for now, have faith, right, in what I'm asking you to do by writing it in the comments below. It's a way of claiming it, right, or reclaiming it. Maybe it's already on your list. Just put it out there, all right? Because again, I'll be reading the comments daily and responding because I want to engage with you. You matter to me. All right, so why am I urging you to move that desire to the top of your priority list? Because our long-held, heartfelt desires are meant to transform us. They've been planted in you for a reason. It's not just a good thing to do or a good idea to do. This falls under the definition of what I call entelechy. It's a metaphysical term about your purpose and your potential. See, your desires are part of that purpose, of your purpose. Your entelechy is the seed of your potential and your purpose. So let's say the entelechy of an acorn, right, is what? A robust, right, strong, big, gorgeous oak tree. It's not a rose bush, and it's not a vegetable plant. It's meant to be a big, strong oak tree, all right? For you, your desires are planted to help evolve you. Yeah, they're part of your entelechy, right? So success and joy leaves clues. Listen to them, do them, embody them by taking action. So when we honor our desires and place them before goals, hang on, I'll explain the difference. Now we have that fire that inspires achievement. Yep. So again, more on this in a few minutes. I'll teach you how to get this moving in the right direction. So hang on. I want to share with you who I am and why I am credible to even teach this. Yeah? All right. So I was born, believe this, I was born to, right, inspire and serve humanity. And helping beautiful souls like you, right, to see and feel a much, much bigger possibility, right, for yourself by removing limiting, negative, repeated thoughts, habits, and behaviors, and replacing them with what I call faith-based, trusting new thoughts and inspired actions that are supporting your dreams, your desires, and your goals. But all of that, and this is a key piece here, but all of that wrapped into a new identity of who you are to achieve those desires and goals. Meaning, who are you being and doing, right, as that new identity while wanting to take action. All right. So let's go through my story as far as then, the credibility and why I'm even teaching this. So as I said, I'm an intuitive business strategist, life designer, right, for women creative entrepreneurs for over 16 years. And I mentor my clients how to transform themselves, their businesses, their money relationship, their personal brand, their revenues, and impact by collapsing the time frame of achieving, right, their one-year goals into 3 months. So prior to that, I spent over 20 years as an entertainment publicist, working with celebrities and visual and performing artists in Hollywood, right? I was worked at PR agencies, and then I had my own agency for about 13 years while I raised my now 33-year-old son as a single mother. So much fun. It was very, very dynamic, being able to monetize my journalism PR degree, right, and my love of entertainment. My podcast, Follow Your Joy, it was launched in June 2022, so it's been 2 years. It's a popular entrepreneurial resource for creatives, sharing their, right, challenge to victory stories through the lens of listening to their intuition. You're going to hear how important that is. It's very much a part of who I am for many decades and how I mentor and coach. So I'm also certified in coaching money relationship through 2 programs of my former business coach, who teaches money empowerment, right, for women, and my own money transformation, right, since 2011. And I have invested thousands, right, of dollars in myself and my business with, right, business and personal development coaches and programs. I never go without a coach. It's just a rule that I have. It helps me stay focused. It helps me keep evolving, and it helps me appreciate what I have already achieved. And I come from a family of creatives, right, in many forms. We have screenwriters, actors, musicians, filmmakers, theater directors, costume designers, chefs, authors, and more, right in my immediate family. And I love all things Italian, and have traveled 4 times to Italy since 2017. And I am proud of my 33-year-old son, who's a successful real estate investor and who I raised as a single mom. And creativity is my life, right? How this all comes together is I integrate, right, personal development, spiritual mentorship, intuitive business, right, guidance, and financial coaching to result in a path to a thriving, profitable life in business. All right, so let's I'm going to bring up on this screen a little bit of background, which is the create cohort, again, that I mentioned earlier, that will be kicking off in January. So let's go ahead and actually, I'm gonna wait. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Hold on a second. So let's go into teaching you my signature creative achievement formula that is the lead content taught in the Create cohort, right? My signature cohort. Again, that kicks off in January. I think what's important to know is how my creative achievement formula came into existence, right? And then I'll give you the steps and how to begin. So September 18th, as in, let's see, less than a month away, or excuse me, less than a month prior of this year, I flew to Italy for the 4th time since my life and business makeover in 2017. See, I hit a big burnout. It was the beginning of 2017, after 9 years in my coaching business, right? Ooh, and even with 9 years of being coached and mentored by really outstanding experts, right? Remember, I never go without a coach. I still ended up in burnout. That led me then to hiring a new mentor back then, Gina DeVee, for an intensive 4-hour, right, in-person session to recover my dreams and learn how to make money with joy rather than the constant overwhelm, hustle, push the boulder up the hill mode and the abundant amount of stress. The result of that session was the recovery of my 20-year unrealized Italian dream to work and live in the United States, here where I am in Southern California, and Italy as a laptop lifestyle entrepreneur by doing a month-long stay in beautiful Florence, Italy, which was the summer of 2017, and rebranding and restructuring my coaching business to do only what brought me joy and fulfillment. See, I discovered through Gina's mentoring and the life makeover, right, from living in Florence, that I was destined to learn how to live and work from the blend of the masculine and the feminine energies. There's no gender here, so just principles and energies to balance my work mode, right? So I can enjoy my coaching while operating my business on my terms, rather than follow a set of over-the-top rules and structures that didn't resonate with me and kind of sent me reeling. Relate with that? So many options out there. Might be careful in what you choose to focus on. So, and I wanted to pave, right, this knowledge forward to thousands of women entrepreneurs experiencing the same, wanting a solution to this common burnout challenge. So 45 days after that life-changing session with Gina and planning everything, I flew to Rome for the first time and spent that, month-long stay in gorgeous, inspiring Florence, Italy. That literally changed my life and how I operated, made decisions about my well-being, set firmer boundaries, and reconnected with my creativity and my heart, because they were pretty numb. I had completely lost, connection with that part of me that's so, so crucial to my happiness and my joy. It took 2 weeks from the day I arrived in Florence, all excited and wide-eyed, right, to feel the years of angst and stress and anxiety and burnout melt away, right, from operating too much every day in what I call that masculine energy. There wasn't a balance. That energy was way too much focused on structures and strategies and logic and linear thinking and practicality and hustling. It's all that head stuff, which resulted in neglecting my dignified feminine powers of intuition, creativity, emotion, joy, imagination. God, that's one of your best tools in business. Faith, spirituality, play, fun, adventure, pleasure, connection, collaboration, and then, of course, heart. Those are all feminine energies and principles of life that get neglected. That day, with all that stress melted away and forward, I felt more alive I had in years. I felt my heart and love of life right there in my Airbnb, right in Florence, completely reawakened, all because I allowed myself to honor my desire and finally go to Italy to work and play and live like an Italian by relaxing more, right? Enjoying the food, enjoying the culture, the people, the art, the architecture. Oh my gosh. The generosity, the kindness of the people, the gathering in the piazza, sipping cappuccinos, and just slowing down, right? Enjoying life. I'll tell you something, I had the time of my life. It was kind of my eat, pray, love journey. Remember that movie? It really happened in my life. So I coached people right there from my Airbnb on my Zoom, right, my laptop. from my Airbnb in Florence. And I played all day long. Because remember, it's 9 hours ahead. So I had all day to play and visit and do all these fun Italian locations and things and so forth. And then in the evenings, I would do coaching. Right? This is how and when I created my signature creative achievement formula I'm about to share with you so that I could pass this experience on and how to avoid business burnout for women. I've been teaching it now for 6 years with much success for my clients. See, this is how, this prime example is how you embody what I call a new identity. You don't just know something, you are, you are that, right? So I don't just know that I'm intuitive, right? Or place my desire at the top of my, priority list. I am intuitive. I do place my desire at the top of my priority list, right? So all of that is how you embody, not just know, who you are to be in order to achieve that which you desire. Okay. So the creative achievement formula is based on not only listening to and taking action on your intuition, but it's also a mindset of blending the masculine and feminine principles of life. Again, not a gender. Right. So here is the formula and how it works. All right. So essentially you focus on, right, your top desire front and center for 90 days while choosing and acting on goals, right, that support the desire by taking what I call inspired action versus only focusing on the goals. So the formula is this: desires plus goals equals transformation and results. That's the difference between only focusing on masculine, right? The masculine principles, which is the goals, right? Which is what our society has us doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're only focusing on goals and not desires, which is the feminine of life, and I'll explain in a minute, that absolutely is an imbalance in how you operate in life, and it heads right to burnout. All right. So again, that the difference between then just the masculine principle, that is the goals of life, and that is with the blend, right? The blend of the powerful feminine principles of what desires, intuition, right? Play, fun, adventure, receiving, not doing, but receiving, right? Creativity, spirituality, connection, collaboration. And you combine that with then the actions of strategy and systems, right? And structure and achieving, going after that result. That's masculine, that's the goals. See that? Right? Okay, makes sense. So the core purpose of this is experiencing the joy of achieving what you desire without the burnout. Amen, right? All right, so I'm going to bring up, hold on a second. Let's bring up a moment. Let's get Zoom to cooperate. Bring up the cohort information. I'm going to talk about one of my clients who did an outstanding job in that. Okay, so let's scroll down. And that's, by the way, that's MarlaDiann.com/create. And of course, all that will be, is down below in the show notes. Okay, so Ashley, yay. All right, so she talks about, having gone through the cohort And she's a beautifully talented DJ, and she's been wanting for about 8 years to be a transformational life coach. And she has been putting together on her own the best she could how to go about doing that. So she jumped in and I assisted her in coming up with her business, structure, her first program, how to launch it, all of that. So she's a brand new life coach with a beautiful program to offer. But she says here, the biggest difference in achieving my goals, right, in income comes from how Marla taught us how to chunk down goals to make them manageable and less overwhelming. Right? That has been a great help during the cohort. Using her creative achievement formula, I'm able to get things done with focus and ease. There you have it. Right? And there's plenty more. Dina, right? The same thing about creative achievement formula. Who is she becoming along the way to her goals? She says, Marla's creative achievement formula helped me make a much needed shift from what? Masculine energy to feminine energy. Dina is a phenomenal 20-year executive recruiter for the tech industry, where she helps startups build sales teams and their marketing initiatives and being able to get themselves off the ground. And she is a beautifully intuitive executive recruiter in how she chooses those candidates for those companies, for clients. So she really benefited from learning the balance. She says, I need continual reminders about this. It was wonderful to stop and focus on my desires, as it's not something I do often. It was powerful. Right? See, there. When I created this formula from my own, I call it burnout to breakthrough, right, time in my life, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to teach this to other women, high achieving creative women, knowing how well this is going to balance their life and help them enjoy achieving what they desire, rather than constantly in that masculine energy of going after goals and getting things done and not being in, right, the intuitive, creative, receiving energy of being in the feminine. Yeah. Okay. So in the formula, you're chunking down your top desire and two goals into 2 to 3 actions per month to move the needle closer to achieving that desire, right? And the goals. Right? So although that seems simple, right? What I find while coaching women is the new mindset that they need to acquire about what is truly a top desire, right? And what are goals? What's the difference between a desire and a goal? Because it's a new concept and approach, right? Before the actions, right? That you must be very, very clear on why and what that top desire is. Elizabeth is another wonderful example. She's a new, I call it emerging entrepreneur. And she also, by the way, these are women this year in the last 5 months have gone through the cohort and gone through the creative achievement formula in other parts. I'll be showing you the modules in a moment. But Elizabeth, who owns her own boutique, fashion boutique, where a lot of her clients are schools and companies and perhaps individuals that want promotional wear. They want their team logos, right? On t-shirts, on hats. And she is the expert for that. You can go to her website. But what she says here, how it helped her, the creative achievement formula supported, right, my transformation by what? Helping me focus, right, on putting my desires at the forefront and seeing the joy that comes from spending time in my feminine energy. It's like it's a lost art, right, ladies? It's a lost art. the good news is I am finding not only in my coaching, industry, there's so many more coaches teaching this, thank goodness, and putting it out there, right? But it's becoming more of a common approach to life is the balance and the blend of the masculine and feminine. So thrilled for that. Right, you can read through this on your own. Of course, Dana Solomon, DJ Dana, fantastic client for an entire year, where she went through every possible transformation with her revenues, her money relationship, her desires, her goals. All right. So there you have it. That's the creative achievement formula. Again, it's literally chunking down your top desire, choosing what that top desire is first, and 2 goals, right? In monthly increments, 3 monthly increments, where you have 2 to 3 actions per month to move the needle closer to achieving that desire and those goals. All right. Okay. So on your own, you certainly can go through this, what it's included and so forth, the dates, and we begin January 15th, go through March 26th. And it's every 2 weeks, it's not weekly. I want you to have time to live your life, run your business, and do your assignments and interact with each other throughout. So yeah, the purpose then is, of course, a gathering of high-achieving, metaphysically minded women entrepreneurs to build a camaraderie of support and creative discussions while in group coaching. We create a momentum energy that elevates, your new year while achieving your desires and goals in 90 days using what? My creative achievement formula, right? So here then are the modules, and I'm going to briefly mention them. And of course, you can read more in detail on your own. So we kick off with, of course, the creative achievement formula, walk you through that. I give you a orientation packet, and you spend time putting that together and sending that to me so that you can be ready for the kickoff and how to get going on this creative achievement formula. The next is Love Your Intuition, is I deep dive into how to have a relationship or a deeper relationship with your intuition, because I find a lot of women neglect it. They ignore it, right? They don't pay attention to their intuition, even though it keeps nudging. And there's a couple places where intuition speaks to you. It's not in your head, right? So not in your head, it's from your neck down, it's in your body. It's either in your heart space or in your stomach, as in your gut, right? So I walk you through and coach you through how to listen and what is and what isn't what is called your monkey mind, right? Your crazy, right, all over the place mind versus what's your intuition. But being that I have been living by my intuition at least for 25 years, I am intuition. I don't just know it, because I love teaching women how to honor that, because that's part of their feminine, right? Arts, it's part of their feminine, right? Principles, right? Make peace with your money story, obviously, with it being an expert on your money relationship, how to change the narrative of your relationship with money, your habits, your behaviors, and to be able to literally create a dignified, confident relationship with money and creating higher revenues. We clarify or upgrade your ideal client, customer, or recruit profile, depending on what business you're in. And I go through, coaching you your genius zone, right? That helps elevate your revenues, your joy, your creativity while leveraging your business. It's a leverage strategy, knowing what your genius zone is, what those talents are, because that's what you focus on the most every day in your business, right? So that you have you're literally in your highest creativity, doing what brings you the most income. It comes natural to you, It brings you the most joy. It's what you love to do, etc. So there's a whole training around that. And then, of course, we end with the celebration of your achievement, transformation, Q&A, and so forth. Okay. This explains, and you can read this on your own, the wealth consciousness-based coaching that I take you through. All right, terrific. So the magic then, the magic behind this intimate 6-woman cohort is how deeply I dive into each member's understanding, right, inspired actions, and their transformational experience throughout the 90 days. So I keep it to 6 women. I want to deep dive with each of you rather than having the experience. I don't want anyone feeling unnoticed, neglected, or unsupported. Not on my watch, right? I aspire to gather, right, 6 high-achieving, metaphysically minded, spiritual women entrepreneurs, right? And if you're intrigued how to achieve your 1-year, right, goals in 90 days, obviously this is the way to do that. And you can certainly on your own, again, head over to this program page, www.marladiann.com/create, right? Of those, some that I've just gone over and additional ones that are here. They're remarkably brilliant entrepreneurs, right? Women clients, and how they achieve their desires, right? And their goals while using their beautiful intuition and making peace with their money story. Okay. So here's my story, a little more in depth than what I did today. And here then is the options for investment. Get there. Good. So I give you 2 options, right? I give you a full pay of $24.97, or you have 3 payment option with a $1,500 deposit. These are good. These rates are the early rates for enrollment before, or I should say by November 20th, right? So you want to grab a spot at those rates, and the return on investment for these very affordable rates, which probably could be a lot higher, I want to move that needle forward for my women and help them turn the corner in how they achieve, right, their goals, right, and their desires. All right, so you need more clarity on this particular cohort and how it can help leap you forward. Is that I offer always, right, always a Zoom one-on-one call. And I'm happy to make time for, right, serious intended entrepreneurs, right, that are looking to invest in themselves, and they're, very intentional about that. And I'll be more than happy to make time for you. So I will leave a link below on making that, scheduling that call with me. All right. So I appreciate you for hanging out, and know that I'm your achievement advocate, right, with the blend of the masculine feminine. And I am more than likely going to do a few more of these series. I should say these videos in a series. I'm going through each one of those modules and teaching you a little bit about each one, from the money to the genius zone and so forth. So watch for more of that. And again, I appreciate you hanging out with me. And remember, put your name, where you're from, and of course, your top desire, so that I can read through and support you in that. Yeah. All right. You take care, and I look forward to connecting with you. Bye-bye.